Alright, welcome to part 2 of our Google Forms and how to use them to help mark. In this cast, we're going to highlight the program Flubaroo, which will automatically mark those forms that you created. It's very easy to use, and I'm going to give you a quick overview and some things you can do with it to help speed up your marking and save some time for you. So this is the quiz. It was only a couple questions long, BTT quiz, and they just filled it out. It was fill in the blank with a bunch of blanks. So when they wrote the quiz, this is the data I got. And rather than having a paper and going through these one by one, I can quickly get these marked for me just by highlighting all of the boxes and then going to my add-on and using Flubaroo. But if you don't have add-ons, you can go to Get Add-ons, and a quick way to find this one is either search it there or just go to Education, because you might see some other things that are helpful to your course specifically. And this one's called Flubaroo. It's free. I also have Super Quiz, which helps give some more options when you're making your quiz, and the GMath one will help you for things like graphs and math equations if you need to add in those real quick. So I already have it, so everything's highlighted, and all I have to do is hit Flubaroo, and it'll give me some. I've already graded it once, but I can regrade the assignment, and if someone else added in their work as well if they were late. So what's going to happen is it's going to automatically use its program to figure out the best way to grade it for you, but it might not be how you want it. Say questions are different points. It already went through and said these are all my point questions, and this question is not a question, it just identifies the name. So it did pretty well there. I can change the point system. I can say identifies the student, that will be the name, and I can also just skip grading altogether for that question if it's not if I don't need it. So it did really well there. I'm just going to continue. And one thing I need to talk about is before you grade this assignment, you should run through the quiz once yourself and give yourself a perfect answer. So I did this 2 days before they wrote it, and I said teacher copy so I know it would be pop up. And then all these other ones are going to be marked against that one. So I'm going to select that one to mark, continue, and then it's going to generate some reports for me. This may take a couple of minutes depending how many questions you have or how complicated your answers are. But this will only take a couple seconds here. I've had problems with reloading. And it's going to give me my data here. So I have a quick summary over here on the left, and points possible was out of 10. The average was 8.4, so pretty good. Counted submissions were 40 students, and number of low scoring questions, 0. So low scoring questions are any question that receives less than 60% on the question. If I go down here, and scroll across, I can tell on each question what the average grade was. For example, everyone got a perfect on this question. My only low score my lowest scoring question was 70%, this one here. So if it is low, it'll be counted here, and that right now is 60% or less, but those are the segments you can change. I also have the setting so anybody that didn't get 60% or higher will be highlighted in red. So they're going to point out here, so only a few there, so that's pretty good. So what you can do with this is, when you go back to your add-on Flubaroo, I can email the grades, and because everyone's on Google Classroom, it's going directly to their email, and when I do that, I can also email the answer sheet as well with it. So what the students will get is an answer sheet, and this was just a practice test, so study for next week line test. So I can continue there, and they'll get that in their box. They can study up for their next test. Also, what you can do is you can get your grade report. I don't have enough time. I can get the view report, and now I'm just going to break down each question and how many people, where they scored. So I had most people scoring in the 10s, in the high 8s, 9s, and only a few students here that were in the lower. So that's good too. I'm going to email that to myself, and then I'm set. So this is part 2 on how to grade quickly with Flubaroo on Tech Tuesday.